We want to get to some late breaking news tonight. At least one person shot after disturbance at a house in the far west Bexar County.
Yeah, the call came in about 9 o'clock this evening. This is a live picture from the scene. It's on Silver Mine near Galm Road. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says the gunman has been detained. As you can see, though, it's still a very active scene, a very active investigation. We'll pass along any new information as soon as we get it.
And some more breaking news on Highway 90 and Southwest 36th Street. Police were called out to the scene about 30 minutes ago. We're still trying to confirm more details in the case, but you can see that Highway 90 is closed. Traffic is being diverted to the access road. Avoid this area if you can.
The two other news, a crack in the front line in the battle against COVID. Nurses are burned out and considering leaving the profession altogether. The state and nation facing a nurse shortage. It's only expected to get worse.
That's right. The surge of coronavirus cases is already worsening with 920 COVID-19 patients hospitalized in San Antonio. The 19's Patty Santos tells us how the deficit in staffing will impact all of us when we most need them.
Nurses are tired. You know, they've been at this for a while. They've gone through 2 other waves.
CEO of the Texas Nurses Association says those on the front line of care during this pandemic are burned out, discouraged, and ready to get out.
I think, many nurses are deciding that they can't any longer do this. So, and that's a grave concern. If there aren't adequate staff, patients will not have optimal outcomes. Those who might have survived may not survive.
Nurses leaving the profession was a nationwide issue before the pandemic. A study by the Texas Center for Nursing Workforce Studies showed Texas was 27,000 nurses short in 2019. That number projected to be 57,000 by 2032.
If anything, this pandemic has not been good for the shortage.
It represents a challenge for facilities in high-growth areas like Resolute Health Hospital in Comal County.
It's been tough. Certainly, we have some vacancies in the hospital, and those numbers have increased with the growth that we've experienced.
Staff there are working longer days and extra shifts. Traveling nurses have not been as readily available because of the demand nationwide.
That resource is fairly limited today. It was certainly used more in the past. We'd like it to be more, simply to take some of the pressure off, but it's a pretty low number right now.
But the news is not all bleak. There's still a desire to join the profession.
What I've heard and what I hear from schools of nursing is they have actually seen an increase in applicants, that people are interested, they want to help, they see this happening with COVID, and they want to step up.
And the problem is that there is also a staffing shortage to be able to teach those future nurses. What I'm also hearing is that a lot of nurses that work in hospitals are leaving those jobs to become traveling nurses, where they can oftentimes get paid a little bit more. Hospitals are offering bonuses to hire new nurses. Jeff, Steve.
Patty, thank you. More mothers who are pregnant are ended up in the hospital with COVID-19. University Hospital saw about 1 mother a month who had the illness. Now the hospital says with infections spreading so quickly, they've had to treat up to 3 pregnant women at one time. Many are unvaccinated. Dr. Patrick Ramsey says the chances of their baby being born with COVID are low, but the vaccine is helpful in keeping patients out of the hospital. Dr. Ramsey says there is an added benefit for expecting moms.
Those antibodies that mom makes from the vaccine cross the placenta and give the baby some protection for the first few months after birth.
Baptist Health System also treating moms with COVID. They say some have needed supplemental oxygen, intubation in ICU, and some even had to deliver their babies prematurely. And if you still have a few questions about the vaccine, tomorrow is your chance to call into our KSAT community phone bank with Dr. Teresa Barton from University Health. It's from 5 to 7 tomorrow. We'll provide the number to call on KSAT.com and in our early newscast tomorrow.
And meanwhile, Mayor Ron Nirenberg trying to get the word out on vaccinations and mask wearing. While he cannot mandate them, he is asking you to help consider these potentially life-saving options. The mayor saying school districts are voicing similar concerns as students prepare to head back to school.
And the concerns are that they have really little control, given the governor's order, about requiring these basic mitigation measures. And if you look at the CDC recommendation, the CDC guideline says if you are a child going back to school, you should go back in a mask. So we are asking them to do that.
Mayor Nirenberg and Bexar County Judge Nelson Wolff requesting the governor give them the power to mandate safeguards for schools and government offices, but were essentially dismissed via some of the governor's comments on Twitter. Health officials continue to say masking is meant to help stop the spread and vaccinations are the solution and will likely keep people out of area hospitals. We're also tracking the trends in cases, hospitalizations, and vaccinations online. You can see how some of the data mirrors what we witnessed last summer. We have all of it laid out for you online at ksat.com. All you have to do is click on this story.
For the first time since her tragic and gruesome death, the family of a Northside ISD school teacher is sharing her story. Carla Lynn Boyd's body was discovered last month during a welfare check. The medical examiner said Boyd suffered traumatic injuries. But her daughter tells me, despite this unexpected loss, she wants people to remember her mother for the life she lived.
Phone conversations and just being with her in general. Seeing her be a grandma, that's what I'll miss most.
Amanda is talking about her mother, 57-year-old Carla Lynn Boyd. For privacy concerns, she asked not to show her face, but she spent the afternoon with us speaking about Boyd. She was the rock of their family.
Such a strong woman for just everything I've ever seen her go through. She just did it with such grace and beauty.
On July 14th, Boyd's body was discovered in her home on White Mulberry. After this tragic discovery, Bexar County Sheriff's deputies searched for her relative, Andrew Boyd Tintons, who was living with Boyd. Investigators listed him as a missing person. Deputies say 2 days later, they found Tintons dead in West Virginia with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Amanda says she doesn't want her mother's memory to be overshadowed by this dark crime. She says she wants her to be remembered as the passionate math teacher she was at Connolly Middle School. For 30 years, she taught at Northside ISD.
The kids just love her and just like how I love her. So it's really cool to share that with probably so many kids.
Amanda says her mother was hardworking. She taught her to be the woman and mother she is today.
Just really did her best.
She says she will keep her memories of her mother going strong. Amanda also had this to say to other families out there.
Call your mom every day, tell her that you love her, and mental health is really important and don't let it go unaddressed.
Some great advice right there. Bexar County deputies say at the time they were searching for Tintons, they believed he may have been involved in Boyd's death. They add that this case remains under investigation, but they're not looking for any other suspects.
Car break-ins, vandalism, thefts. Knowing what's happening in your neighborhood can help you combat crime. And now the San Antonio Police Department has a new tool to get that information right to your phone. San Antonio Police say the text alerts tailor notifications based on the user's zip code. The alerts can notify users of crime trends in their neighborhood, updates on critical incidents, and upcoming events. The West Care Foundation, working with the San Antonio Police Department, they say a network of neighbors also important when you're trying to combat crime.
Our role is to literally be the boots on the ground who are working with people in their neighborhoods and also with the neighborhoods because they're going to be there, but to help build their capacity to have block captains and house parties and be looking out and watching out for each other, because that's how you keep your street safe, that's how you keep two streets safe, and that's how you keep a block safe.
So if this sounds like something you're interested in, you can sign up for SAPD's text notifications by texting SAPD to the number you see on your screen right now, 39987.
And there are only two choices for the jury in the Otis McCain trial. The man convicted of killing San Antonio Police Detective Benjamin Marconi may be sentenced to death by lethal injection or life without parole. And we're about a month into this trial. Tomorrow, victim impact statements are set to take place in the case. Judge Ron Runhell making that ruling today. A San Antonio police officer who worked alongside Marconi and the detective's family are scheduled to take the stand. Those statements set to begin at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. The jury will be expected to come to a verdict once all the statements are made. You can continue to stream the trial online at ksat.com.
They were shot while shopping at a Walmart in El Paso. Today marks 2 years to the day. Those 23 people were killed, many others injured. The call for justice continues. The community of El Paso honoring the lives lost with several memorials around that city. One memorial at a park involved a procession of black crosses, each carrying the name of a victim. El Paso Congresswoman Veronica Escobar calling for stricter gun laws at the memorial and asking all Americans to reach out to lawmakers and make their voices heard. Members of El Paso City Council also read out the names of the victims in another ceremony, ringing a bell in their remembrance. President Joe Biden also sending a message to El Paso today.
To the families who lost loved ones, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Jill and I send our love, and I know how hard these anniversaries are, as I said. No matter how much time has passed, it brings it all back like it happened that second.
President Biden also saying survivors of this tragedy are left with their own mental traumas, asking if some sort of mental health resource may still be needed for the El Paso area. Prosecutors say the shooter had the intent of killing immigrants and Mexicans August 3rd, 2019. Defense attorneys claim he was in a psychotic state at the time. He's currently facing 90 federal charges, including hate crime charges. The pandemic pushing back the next hearing to November due to a backlog in cases. Spurs fans dealing with some disappointing news still ahead on the Night Beat. The departure of Patty Mills, where the beloved athlete is now heading, and the other team he denied, coming up.
And a fall from rising office. New York's governor facing fallout after a new report links him to sexual harassment. The president now chiming in.
Plus, police hoping the sound of a masked gunman's voice may help in his identification. We revisit the unsolved murder of a local store clerk. Next on the Night Beat.
Tomorrow on GMSA.
This is the mural that inspired the whole If These Walls Could Talk series.
So if you listen to his music, you could hear all about, from San Antonio.
I'm Katrina Weber, the story of MIG, tomorrow on GMSA.
So, Ginny, what makes you an awesome different driver?
Well, there's a lot to it. Man, it's a rush. It's what makes home selling with OfferPad awesome different.
Oh, so much. But with OfferPad, it's a lot more home selling stuff and a lot less bumping into people.
I don't bump into anyone.
Home selling with OfferPad is awesome different. Request your free cash offer today at OfferPad.com.
The summer closeout sale is going on now at Ashley Home Store. Save up to 60% off clearance and closeout items. Find sofas and dining sets starting at only $119. Plus, save up to $1,000 off your purchase. For a limited time only at Ashley Home Store.
Mission Mitsubishi brings you back to school bonus cash. That's $4,500 dealer bonus cash. Plus no payments till fall when you buy a new Mitsubishi. Brand new 2022 models are in stock now. Get an extra $4,500 dealer bonus cash today. Use it for your down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash. Trade or no trade. Head back to school with an extra $4,500 dealer bonus cash from America's #1 Mitsubishi dealer, Mission Mitsubishi, on San Pedro, just outside of Loop 410.
Uh-oh, a speeder.
Big oil truck.
Those guys are hard to pass.
Cattle truck.
Hey, boys.
Oh, you're blushing, Larry.
When driving through oil and gas production areas, slow down and pay attention.
For nearly 30 years, Thomas J. Henry has fought day in and day out for every client we've had the honor of representing. In our town, in our community, we will always be the name you trust. Thomas J. Henry, available 24/7 nights and weekends.
I had no idea the health of my teeth could cause so many issues. I was missing teeth and it was causing a lot of problems. I decided to go in for a free consultation with the Marquis Center to talk about dental implants.
Dr. Waters and I were able to sit down and come up with a solution with dental implants, and that has clearly changed her life.
For anybody that is in a similar situation, Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Do it today. You will not regret it.
Call the Marquis Center now for your personal consultation.
Ashley Home Store's summer closeout sale is going on now. Shop amazing closeout deals starting as low as $119. Plus, save up to $1,000 off your purchase. Or get 0% interest for 4 years with no minimum purchase and no money down. Only at Ashley Home Store.
A woman killed while on the job. A year later, the hunt for the man who killed that convenience store clerk continues. Police in Garden Ridge releasing surveillance video with audio in hopes someone might recognize the suspect's voice. We want to warn you, some might find this video disturbing.
Hurry up, hurry up. You know, lift it.
This capital murder case taking place northwest of San Antonio. 40-year-old Pollyanna Smotherman followed the suspect's demands to the T, but was killed anyway. It happened at the Easy Mart in the 19,500 block of FM 3009. If you recognize this man or have any information about Smotherman's murder, call the Comal County Crime Stoppers at 830-640-TIPS. There's a reward of up to $5,000 in this case.
Repulsive and unlawful behavior. That's what New York Lieutenant Governor says about a report against the New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. The New York Attorney General linking Cuomo with sexual harassment of multiple women. John Lawrence has the latest.